call this meeting to order with the commissioners.
We call both?
Yes.
I call the meeting to order for the building authority.
Okay. If y'all would, stand for the pledge. Father, we thank you for another opportunity to come together to do what we hope, make what we hope will be the best decisions for the people of Gilmer County. Pray for your guidance, Father, that you would oversee what we do, and that the decisions that we make would be those that work best for the people of this county. As always, we ask your blessing upon those who give up their freedom in order to protect ours and put their lives at risk for us, first responders, and also, Father, the military that we have. These things, Father, we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, for the commissioners meeting, I would make a motion that the agenda be approved with one slight change. I propose that we swap the order and put the finalizing of the refunding of bonds first.
I'd second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Are we able to do that?
So I make a motion that we put the refunding of the bonds as the first item on the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well, the minutes are for building authorities.
I will make a motion for the minutes of the March 14th Building Authority meeting be approved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that brings us to finalizing of refunding of funds. David, do we need any kind of motions at this point?
No, actually, it's a ceremony of signing documents, and if y'all want to, for purposes of the media, if y'all want to gather together, you and Jolene, and maybe do the swap right here, maybe Leslie, if you'll sit where Jolene is for a second, and Sandy, we'll just rotate chairs. And Jolene, I'll need to have you move down here where probably
Go in on the end here.
is there, yeah, we could do that. Actually, we could do that. That may be
That'd
easier.
be easier.
Am I moving?
No.
I'll show you later.
Okay, you get enough documents over here and everything. Maybe you didn't get my agenda with your documents, did you?
Very possibly could have.
Mine?
If we just be it and just be it.
Thank you.
Sounds like there's anything else.
So, then does the building authority need to close out their meeting now?
No, I think they want to participate in the.
Oh, that's right, they would, wouldn't they? Okay. Actually, I think we'll just turn it over to them. Okay, since the next topic is the Tabor House, and y'all on the Tabor House, I'm going to turn it over to the building authority at this point.
Well, do we need to approve the minutes from the last meeting first?
We did.
Did that?
We did.
Well, Dallas, since you're the one that put together this nice agenda on the Tabor House, and since Melissa is here, how do you want to start?
I don't particularly care, but I do have a sheet of paper that I would pass around, and I think I emailed a lot of people that. I don't think you got it, so you want to see this, and I do not vouch for the accuracy. Just everybody that wants one, take one. If you got it in the email or brought it with you, that's fine. I just try to get things in my mind so we didn't discuss too long. I don't want to discuss a lot, but we always have these confusions about who owns a building or who has the lease or who, all that. So I just made a quick picture of that, and I'm going to state this very, very quickly, and then the last thing we need to do is, I think, talk about what we're going to do with any maintenance or renovation problems that we know we have, and see where we go with that. We all know that the building authority has title to the building and the land that it sits on. And that's good till, as far as I understand, until the bonds are paid off, and then the county takes it over that ownership, which will be 2032 or something. We lease the building authority, speaking as a building authority, we lease that building and land to the Board of Commissioners, who then turns around and leases the property of the Tabor House to the Gilmer County Historical Society. So I think that started, help me if I'm wrong, but about 2008 that was officially put in place and renewed.
Well, we had taken it over in 2007, and then somebody decided we needed to have a lease.
So that, as far as I know, is in existence as an annual renewal. And you, as far as I know, the society provides the utilities and has use and can open it up and hold events and so on. So
the county pays for the gas.
we pay for the heating, is what you're saying. I didn't know that, and some of this is not going to be accurate because I didn't know, but
Well, I want to be honest about it. I mean, when they took the propane tank out, the next thing we knew, we were hooked up for gas, and we never got a bill. So
you need to keep that clear. The county has provided some maintenance in terms of repairs, and I think there's even been volunteer help for things that started out as painting and other things. So it's a sort of a partnership in that sense. We do have some items that we talked about last month's meeting that really are needing to be addressed. I did add one thing here that probably separate. It's my understanding that we did not get approval from the health department to have a restaurant and cook food at that facility. Am I correct on that?
we had it approved through the health department when Janie Hayden had the kitchen there. And she got all the safe serve credentials and everything, and we gave you a copy of the sub-lease that we had done with it.
The thing that I remember back early on when I was the prior board of commissioners, I think we had a discussion about the need for some cooking oil, green trap, something.
That was the water department.
Grease
trap. Yeah, the
grease trap.
We had found one to put above ground, and the gentleman that was in charge of the water department at that point in time mixed it totally. So she quit flying and doing any of those type of foods. When she left, we were closed for probably 18 months, I guess it was. Lucinda Morrow now does baking there and has had no need. And the procedure for health department has been given to the ag department, so it's not going through the same procedures that we had before. So her kitchen is approved by the ag department.
Okay. I have that misstated here, and I will correct that.
Yeah, that just came about with the end of 2018.
Okay. And Charlie or DJ could talk more in detail about the maintenance and repairs that have been done.
But
I
in
don't
all
have-
actuality, we make no money off it.
Yeah, I don't have any details.
I have two current quotes of current deficiencies. One is the roof that was recently damaged, which needs to be totally replaced. I don't think we can afford I forget the insurance deductible on that. I think it's $25,000.
Yeah.
The quote for the roof currently is a rough estimate because the joist that the metal roof sits on are not actually 2x4s, they're actually trees that are cut slices.
Yes.
So we don't know if it's going to be feasible to nail that to those shapes they're in. We may need to deck the roof out before we replace it. So the current quote is a rough estimate of $12,000, but it may be more than that depending on the decking. Now, the other quote I have is in materials. Since we can't get donations to build that handicap ramp, what it's going to cost in materials is $900. And I think we're due also for a renewal of the termite control over there this year.
We actually had the treatment put
We
in
had
place.
treatment done, yes.
This is just the annual renewal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And can we do the same with the pest control? That's one other item in terms of.
Who is the terminate?
Can't remember.
Most of them will do pest control in addition.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was added.
Yeah, we could just add that too.
Well, having talked about all those, I think I will speak for my opinions to the building authority.
Before we get into that, though, let's make sure we're complete on everything here, because
Okay.
one major thing is the dehumidifiers that we need. We've got a couple of
That is here. And
proposals for those.
that's right, we do. We have.
And I think the least expensive was, what, 3,000, was it, Lily?
27, I think was part. The thing that bothered me about these is, and only one of these companies came up with the information. This one that has almost 6,000 is also replacing the electrical panel, because he contended that to add a dehumidifier to this was going to have to require another outlet. And what we have up there now is not sufficient for the pull on the electricity. So
And the
actually
other-
then some heating and air was the cheapest at $31.95. So,
But the 6,000 included electric.
yeah, he was going to possibly redo, well, it doesn't say that. It says high voltage not included. So I really would like to know what he was quoting for.
Now, he's the one
Is
that's
it
quoting two,
It's-
I think he was the one that's quoting two dehumidifiers rather than one.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, there's two furnaces in the house. There's one upstairs in the attic and there's one underneath the house.
So he may be talking to
So
humidifiers.
Yeah,
Benson
he was
thought
on
that one
Okay.
could pull the whole thing.
Yes, quote to dehumidifiers.
The one, I think, was 2,700,
3,700. That's associated.
okay, 3,700. But with the stipulation that the electrical couldn't carry it. So we're still looking, we don't have a price on that, but we're still looking to replace that, have to replace that entire electrical panel. and that will not be cheap.
No.
Leslie, did you have any possible source, there was discussion about a grant?
I have a grant from the Georgia Archives, but now I know why people don't file for grants. They approved us to file for the grant last October. In December, we were told we had the grant. And in February, I got more paperwork to fill out. And then in March, I got more paperwork to fill out. And ultimately, what it means is we've got to spend the money before we can get the money from them. So one of the things was, Wayne had said, well, we could go and get a small dehumidifier from Lowe's for about $400, and then put a hole in the wall and have the hose go from the dehumidifier in the room into the shower so that it would drain.
What isn't that something you got already over at the Watkins house, but you have to empty it?
No,
Oh,
it
empties
it's
into
it
the,
drains into that
So, yeah, we don't
Right.
have something.
reservoir.
and what'd you spend on that?
250.
So we could do it cheaper,
But
but
would we still have to do the electrical now? It
probably,
seems to me that
yeah, it could cut
It
the
all
electricity
that may
down.
be a limit.
DJ, there's one that got a
I
copy
think it's
of it.
entirely possible we could just do the electrical and survive with the smaller versions.
Well,
Rather
yeah,
than whole house.
but I mean, the point is we still have to replace the electrical.
Get that going.
And when I got a copy of our certificate of insurance, the deductible on property is actually $2,500. It's the liability is $25,000. So I told
We
you.
can do the roof.
So we could, yeah, we should be able to
That quote
turn
is,
that in.
that quote is at 12,000 and possibly more,
Right.
depending on the.
Yeah, we should be able to turn that in, with a $2,500 deductible.
For the roof damage, is that what?
Yes.
Specifically, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was weather related, didn't
Sure was.
Wind.
Well, the building authority has already set up a contingency of money. I don't think we ever intended for that contingency money to be used for the Tabor House, but we do own the Tabor House, and there is money there, and I'm going to make a suggestion, let anybody else weigh in, but I would suggest that that contingency be used for the roofing and for the repairs for the pest and termite. Because that, I feel like, is the responsibility, as far as I can understand, from both the lease and our ownership of the property, that we take care of those structural kinds of things, and that would include electrical work if we need to out of that building. So that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Would that include the dehumidifier too?
I-
Because that's,
I would not, for this, only for this reason in this discussion, we, as the building itself, probably would not ever use the humidifier, but that is to protect the society's properties and personal items and the property that is there. So I would like to say that we find a way to fund that item. I think it's needed to continue to use this as a museum, but I don't feel that that's part of what we deal with, because it's there to protect the contents, and we do not own the contents. That's just my personal feeling. So I would figure out a different way to cover that, Charlie. But the other items, I think, are very clearly part of our responsibilities. But one of the items we have never, to my knowledge, ever budgeted specifically money designated to repair the Tabor House. As a county, certainly as a building authority, because we don't have any money, and the society doesn't have money to cover that, and keeps sufficient balance in the bank to cover those items either. So that's where we're at today. We don't have anything in agreement to cover this today. If we get insurance, that's a plus.
We should be able to get insurance for the roof part of it, except for the $2,500.
Right.
But now, one of the things, the money that is set back in as a contingency for buildings, two things. First of all, I think that contingency, as I recall the budget, and Sandy, correct me, I don't believe it said we were setting this back for building authority. It said we were setting it back for county buildings. Now, I'm perfectly fine with thinking of the courthouse and the Tabor House and all the building authority buildings as county buildings for that purpose. But I don't want then to say, because the Tabor House is not, because the building authority doesn't feel that they should pay for the humidifier, that then the county has to pay for it.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, but here's the thing. The contingency that's set back is county money, because as you say, the building authority has no money of their own. So in my mind, if there's a county building, and when I say county building, I'm talking, understand, building authority, county, whatever, that needs something, I think that was the fund that we had intended that money come from. So, and I would say too, that at this point, we're not in any danger of overrunning that contingency. I just believe that if this is something we feel like needs to be done at the Tabor House, that's the fund that we need to take it from.
Again, as I stated, I really feel that we, as a building authority, have responsibility for that building, like we do, and we budgeted that money, specifically requested it, and it's been designated for maintenance of county building, but the only comment I made in trying to differentiate here is that we really need the humidifier and that control for the contents, which we do not control. But that's the only differentiation I make.
Okay, and I wouldn't argue that point.
It's the same as if let's say, anybody who leases our facilities has their own property, they need something to keep, that's similar idea.
And I wouldn't argue that point, as long as we can agree that what the county does need to do at the Tabor House could come from that fund.
An example on point is the Watkins house that pays for the humidifier.
Yes,
Because they're renting a lease.
yeah, it's part of that lease.
And I don't want to hang this on humidifier. I'm not.
No, I hear what you're saying.
I'm not opposing what you said about the humidifier. All I'm really saying is whatever we do decide that the county needs to do at the Tabor House is going to have to come from that fund.
Well, the county leases the Tabor House just because you sublease it to them, you're the one that's leasing it from the building authority.
We're the ones,
And you sublease it to historical.
and I'm perfectly content with saying the county will do this, and then turn around and telling the building authority, I'm sorry, but we can't allocate everything you've asked for this year because we've got to do this out of our county funds. When we were asked to allocate, and you know, let's be honest, hundreds of thousands of dollars here. You know, I was willing to do that with the idea that it would be a fund that would maintain all the county buildings.
Yes. And
If we're gonna say that the county leases the Tabor House, so therefore we can't use those funds, I'm fine with that if that's where we wanna go with it, but then my next thing is I can't allocate any more funds to this account because we've got to pay for all this other stuff separately.
I think though, really there's like two questions that would maybe make it easier to come up with numbers. But first of all, do we want to keep the Tabor House? And we've had that discussion before, so if we're keeping the Tabor House.
Joanne, I think that's a discussion for executive session.
Okay, and, well, if we're gonna make the repairs, and now that the roof, which was the major one, if it's only 2,500, if the dehumidifier, if we go with the, I realize that's, we're trying to say that's gonna be the Tabor House decision, but if they go with a $450 solution, that's different. But if we're paying for pest control and termite inspections, or pest control treatment and termite renewal of the bond or whatever, that's X number of hundred.
Big one's gonna be the electric panel.
I was gonna say, and even if we throw in, for purposes of discussion, the handicap ramp, because I think that had a lot to do with different grants in the past, that it was, you know, so that was $900. And then we have electrical panels, so that's a couple thousand.
At least.
Let me add one more comment. All the money that the building authority had requested and the county agreed to was for capital expenditures. And so I'm not sure that termite control is a capital expenditure.
I'm fine with
So,
termite control.
yeah, I think those little things will go on.
I'm fine with taking
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's
I
all.
do believe
But
that
the others, I agree, Charlie.
Yeah, I thought the new power panel
Yeah.
and so forth, I see those always capital expenditures. I'm perfectly fine with taking
I am.
termite out.
Yeah, those, they're M&O, we did budget.
Then, if it was damaged that we're trying to correct, I would.
And replace.
And replace,
I
I'd
agree.
have no problem
I
with
agree,
going in.
I agree, just want to make that clear.
Yeah,
All right,
so,
back
yeah.
to the electrical panel, since we don't have a quote on it, I mean, are we talking the 4,000?
I can't speculate. I would have to, I can get that, you know, by the end of the week, but I can't speculate.
I mean, we had a round number that we.
So I was out for an extended period of time, so I'm catching up on some of this. I wasn't aware of some of it.
Let me ask you though, if we put in a new electrical panel, is the wiring within the building itself adequate, or are we gonna
Well,
have
that's
to
another,
find that out?
that's another, that, we wouldn't know that until we got into.
I don't know that answer.
It's 12 years old since the time that they revamped or re-looked at the electrical in the house. At that time, they told us that it was up to par. You get these companies come out and look and they say, oh, that's an antique panel there.
Well, what I could do is when I get the quote, we can also do an inspection.
Yeah.
They did major replacement of the wiring though.
Supposedly, before we took the
Okay,
house,
that's
we
good.
got the panel, so if we just upgrade the panel, I don't see how.
And inspect the current.
Yeah. Right, so,
So we shouldn't have any aluminum wire or anything like that.
Don't have to inspect it.
so
Bare-
yeah,
bare
I
wire.
would try to make sure everything's shut off every time we leave that building.
We should be able to, for less than what we had tentatively budgeted for the Tabor House, be able to do all those things, and now that a whole new roof, since the insurance is paying for it,
Right.
minus the cost of dehumidifier or whatever.
Well, that's an option that you all can decide, but I just thought there was a relationship there that made sense to.
Right, I understand. So, were we going to decide something today, or are we just discussing?
Well, we probably need to decide something because some of this stuff is, I think, pretty critical that it be
Yeah, I
done
think
quick.
if we can move forward with getting the insurance agent out here to do the roof, so that we can get started on that. I've already got one quote, and then I'd like to get a couple more out there just to say, this, from here to here, this is where we're at with it. And I would like to let them get all the way up into the attic and see what I know up there is sliced trees up there, so they can decide whether that's gotta go or that can stay.
And,
But I have a feeling that that's gotta go.
and then there's gonna be the question of, will that be covered by the insurance? Because
Right.
I'm not sure they'll cover
Yeah,
rotting.
they
right
may
now.
that's
cover
good.
the damage outside, but the framing of it, they may
Exactly.
not.
Yeah.
So that's another question that needs to be answered, so.
I think probably what we're looking at here with a new roof, the ramp, the new power panel. I'm just gonna pick a number out of there. I'd say we're probably going to end up in between $15,000 and $20,000.
If I may interject here, could we trash the wheelchair ramp? Because I personally do not see the purpose in having a ramp that would get you to the porch and to the first floor and then nowhere else in the house.
Right. Yeah, we do.
What I think would be of more benefit would be to have a staircase from the porch down to the level of the parking lot. Wouldn't even have to break up the curb or anything at this point.
Actually, that would basically be about the same cost. If we were talking about materials, yeah, and it would probably be beneficial for us to get ramps in the staircase.
You're talking about a wooden or concrete or some
When
steps
they
and a ramp.
built the parking lot, they lowered
Right.
the elevation it was to get to the porch.
And
And
then,
that's been the major
and
problem.
then if you went straight
That's a good
off,
option.
and then if you went straight off the porch, you lose a handicap parking space too. That's one of the reasons we were L-shaped the handicap ramp so that we wouldn't lose the handicap parking.
If you want to look at it again and see if it would be feasible just to put a staircase instead. When you put a
I'll
staircase
look
with
at it, but I
a
mean,
level and then,
it's just $900 and about a week's worth of my time.
But what you're saying is
Critical.
that there's not too much physical advantage of having a ramp
no.
because of the interior.
But it would be an advantage to the handicapped persons because they can only get to the first floor anyway. They can't go upstairs.
Right, understood.
Unless you want to put in an elevator.
A regular person can barely get upstairs.
Yes.
That's not
And this time
a,
it's a little
not
hard.
a regulation staircase they have inside that house.
Because it's 100 years old.
Yes.
My preference is really to do the ramp and let people walk up it. But
If we're gonna
I wanna
keep
hear
the building,
that that's not
I'm for the ramp. If
Well,
if it's not this,
we're not gonna keep the building, I would ask the ramp.
I mean, I think it
But
deserves
that's a good-
relooking at.
yeah, that's a good option.
I think the critical thing though right now is that we get the roof taken care of.
Mhm.
Oh, no question.
And we can delay a decision on the power panel or the ramp, whatever, but we've got to get the roof taken care of, or it's gonna cost us more.
I agree with you, Charlie, but if we can do it and get it solved, all the others, I would just like to do it.
Now, hey, I'm for that.
I would like to make it happen, and not have to kick the can down the road anymore.
Taking the dehumidifier out, taking the termite, annual termite contract and pest control out. Are y'all okay with the rest of it coming from the contingency fund? That would be the power panel,
Personally,
the roof, and the ramp if we go that way.
Ramp or steps.
Right there.
I'm personally in agreement with that. I'm assuming, like you said, $10,000–15,000 or that range.
That's just off the
I know.
If it's more, we can talk about it
Yeah,
again.
right, exactly.
The roof, we just won't know until we get.
Right.
Joanne, would you be okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. One thing also about the ramp is it allows people to attend functions that are on the first floor, even if they aren't going to see the exhibits. And so,
Yeah, Lucinda has gotten the courage at this point in time to maybe do a Saturday tea with desserts.
Well, the way that I see this, if we're good with using that contingency fund, and we all agree roof, ramp or stairs, and power panel needs to be dealt with. I don't see that we need a motion for that. We've already budgeted money. And we can go ahead and because that money was budgeted for that purpose, we can go ahead and do this.
And it's not something that we have any legal requirement to bid out. It's
Right.
magnitude that's not a holdup. I think all we need is a consensus that that's what we do.
That's fine.
And we do it. I'm okay with that.
Okay, that being the case, then I think that the only other thing, and I would have to ask, Dallas, you mentioned in terms of keeping the Tabor House for the executive session. Is that something we can do in the executive session?
You can, but this is 5 minutes, so why you can make it, come up with a consensus to spend money if you want to.
Well, that's a discussion, but I don't think these repairs, we own it, we have to repair it regardless. That's my opinion. Whether we keep a lease with this historical society or we do something else with that building is independent of these repairs. I treat these almost like an emergency in my mind.
Well, I think that the roof in particular is.
Yeah, we're in danger of major problems beyond what we got. But I would like to have, I don't like to say this, but I think we ought to have that discussion in an executive session.
Do we have anything else that we need to discuss here?
Leslie, are we making progress for you?
I'd say yes.
Don't miss something, but
We just needed to know what direction to go in, if we're still gonna use the portable humidifiers, or if there is a feasibility of having a whole house.
I'll know by the end of the week about that. I'll know by the end of the week about that. By the way, I might need keys to.
Oh, really?
While you're not there.
You don't know how to operate the code?
I don't have any information on it. Is there a code?
Yeah,
Okay, I'd like to have.
1864.
18 what?
You just announced it. She did not mean
we
that.
are on the record.
You're on
Well, I
the
didn't
film.
say which direction.
Okay, good. She'll tell you after.
That's it.
No, keep in mind that we are being recorded.
That's it.
Okay.
Don't put that in the paper.
Anything else on you? If not, Joanne, do y'all have anything else from the building authority's perspective?
No.
I don't know.
So, if y'all adjourn your meeting, we will vote to go
Can we
into.
both
Oh,
go into the executive
Do
session?
you want to, I don't know if there's any citizens wishing to speak.
Got one over here?
yes.
On behalf of the media, Mr. Chairman, my colleague and I, speaking of recording, have to put up with the extraneous noise in here. Not speaking of humans, but whatever it is.
It's
I
loud.
don't know if that could be addressed or not, but it would be helpful when we're trying to transcribe stories to be able to hear clearly.
One
It's
of
not as
the-
bad as the courtrooms.
Well,
One of the projects we've got going on is the electronics and so forth in the
actually, I
courthouse, which
believe
is,
these recordings are able to be
For
heard.
me, I don't know about him, his.
yeah, but
I'm sure
he's.
that those-
he's
I hear it
operating
live
now.
with my hearing aids. It drives me
We
crazy.
pick up
They're
everything.
They're in public, open records. They could be copied for the open records.
Would it work if we gave y'all a copy of our recording of this in MP3 format
How quickly?
next day?
With me, mine just goes online, so it would be,
I mean, we can turn the air off.
We're doing it.
What is causing that?
In his case, we'd be talking about the whole,
His,
whoever
my
calls it.
understanding is.
I hear, what do you hear, Laura?
A rattling?
Yeah, I hear the rattling in my ears too.
I don't hear a rattle, I hear the air on.
No, I
I hear the.
I can see how that would be a disruption on a recorded.
It sounds like something's loose and vibrating.
I don't want to sound caustic, but I don't think that the media should have to depend upon the government for recordings of the meetings.
And I'm fine with that, I'm just trying to come up with a solution.
Sure.
Uh,
Well, we try to help each other out, so that's good to me.
I agree with you.
Would it help if your microphones were closer to them?
With me.
It's
I
real
can-
small, but it's very sensitive, and it picks up everything. Picks up every ambient sound in the room. I mean, shuffling paper, anything. Just a statement, comment.
if, when we do this revision of electronics in the various courtrooms and in this room, if we had a port that you could plug yours into and get your feed straight from here rather than just an open mic, would that be helpful?
If it doesn't pick that up.
Well, I
that's the
believe that
problem.
you've got the professional man here that can fix it. Again, if we're dependent on
I don't know how
government
you
equipment,
fix air
something breaks
conditioning.
down.
But I do see your point. I'm just not sure what the solution is.
It's not a game killer.
We'll do something. We'll try to figure out something.
Didn't notice it. No, yeah, it was fine before. Really loud. Well, the building authority has nothing else, and we would move to go into executive session.
I'll second that. But as far as I'm concerned, there's no action expected or anticipated.
We got voted on the executive session for the building. Okay.
We didn't vote. I seconded it, but we didn't vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks.
I'll make a motion that the commission go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.